Start. Hello everyone and welcome again to another video of mine. Today I will show you a little bit about the history of West Papua, especially the process leading up to the 1962 New York Agreement and how everything unfolds during the time. So we're just going to watch a little bit of a little video about the 1962 New York Agreement, where the people of West Papua were not involved in this process, and it was all done by the colonizers themselves. So we're just going to watch the video.
Difficult negotiations which preceded the reaching of a meeting of minds between our two governments. The Netherlands delegation has constantly been deeply conscious of the importance of the issues involved. Nothing, however, has weighed more heavily with us than the consideration that the outcome of our efforts would directly affect the fate of the 700,000 Papuans inhabiting West New Guinea.
So this is the actual New York Agreement, or the UN session in New York that took place during the time, and the speech by the Dutch government voicing their concerns in regards to the plan where they the agreement where they will hand over the territory of West Papua to the United Nations Temporary Executive Authority, who will then hand it over to Indonesia. So we're just going to watch the video, continue to watch the video. And
the Netherlands government has been and is most deeply concerned with the well-being of the Papuans. It is for that reason that the Netherlands has attached primary importance to the inclusion in the agreement of provisions safeguarding the future political, economic, cultural and educational development of the territory and its inhabitants, and guaranteeing for the Papuans, under active supervision of the United Nations, a genuine and valid exercise of freedom of choice with regard to their future. It has proved difficult.
So you see in his speech he mentioned about the genuine act of free choice, which they they think that would happen in 1969. Apparently, in the agreement, it mentioned about the act of free choice, or it's like a referendum, and it means that every adult Papuans over the age of 18 needs to participate in the referendum. In this case, there wasn't any referendum in West Papua. It was done according to the Indonesian system of voting called Musyawarah, where what Indonesian military through its government did through its military, they went and selected, they went and handpicked people in West Papua. So there were about most of you would have had by now about 1,025 Papuans, but it wasn't only the Papuans, the indigenous Papuans that participated in that act of free choice. There were people who are non-Papuans, like there were people from from Maluku who have lived in West Papua. So people who are not indigenous Papuans but have lived in West Papua also participated in that act of free choice. So really, it is not 100%. Papuans involving in that process. There were people from other ethnicity, living in West Papua that also participated in that referendum.
And perhaps, Mr. Secretary General, I should even say at times more than difficult to bring the Netherlands and Indonesian delegates together.
So these were all empty promises that it never happened. These were all just sweet talks by the Dutch government, and all these things that they promised to the people of West Papua, it never happened. So we're just gonna watch. all the demands by the Dutch government during the speech in the General Assembly in New York were not fulfilled. I mean, Indonesian government breached that, where they were supposed to hold a genuine referendum in West Papua. Indonesian government violated that particular agreement, and they were selected or handpicked 1,025 indigenous Papuans. But from the investigations or the records now, we found out that there were not only Papuans that participated in that act of free choice. There were also Indonesians that were already living in West Papua. They also participated in that act of free choice. So it's a sham referendum, I would say. So it's not really a referendum anyway. So why did New York, the 1962 New York Agreement was brokered by the Americans or the U.S. government? Is because after the Americans or the U.S. government, they discovered the massive, gold reserves in West Papua. They would hold the geological report about the findings of the discovery of the, massive gold reserves in West Papua. So what they want, what we've seen played out was the Americans wanted that huge gold reserves in West Papua. So they came up with this plan. They planned this this idea where, okay, let's get the Dutch and the Indonesians together, and transfer the administration of West Papua to UNTA, United Nations Temporary Executive Authority, who will then later transfer it into Indonesia. So all this process leading up to the 1962 New York Agreement, they never involved the people of West Papua. This is the mistake. So you see, these colonizers thinks that they can do all these things, behind our back. And also one thing that we need to mention as well was, because before the 1969 Act of Free Choice or the referendum, the American company or the U.S. government with the American company Freeport has already signed the business contract in 1967 with the Indonesian government when West Papua wasn't part of Indonesia at all. It's just a territory still under Dutch rules. So therefore, you're going ahead and sign a business contract. So this is illegal. So we can see that Americans were behind the process of invasion of West Papua. So like now we're seeing, the Americans trying to condemn Russia for the invasion of Ukraine. But hang on, U.S. was also involved in the invasion of West Papua by supporting Indonesia and also proposing this illegal this 1962 New York Agreement, because they know very well they wanted the gold in West Papua. So they had to work so hard to ensure that West Papua remains under Indonesian rule so that they can steal West Papua's resources. So, in the media we've seen now like everyone is condemning Russia over Ukraine. What about West Papua? U.S. also involved in the invasion of West Papua. They supported Indonesia to invade West Papua. They know very well that all this process leading up to the 1962 New York Agreement or the 1969 Act of Free Choice, the referendum itself. They knew that they will make sure that West Papua remains under Indonesia so that they can steal the gold in West Papua.
The Netherlands government has been and is most deeply concerned with the well-being of Papua. It is for that reason that
I'm sorry, they were never concerned about the well-being of the West Papuan people. They failed in the duty to protect the people of West Papua. And I don't know, how did they feel during the time, like going ahead and signing all this agreement without involving the people of West Papua. So, I mean, all these talks, I just can't believe, looking back at it again, the history, how they betrayed the people of West Papua. So, it's unbelievable.
the Netherlands has attached primary importance to the inclusion in the agreement of provisions safeguarding the future political, economic, cultural, and educational development of the territory and its inhabitants, and guaranteeing for the Papuans, under active supervision of the United Nations, a genuine and valid exercise.
Under the Act of Supervision of United Nations, UN was there in West Papua. They were there and they allowed Indonesians to do whatever they want and manipulate the whole process. And why did they accept the result? When they knew very well that there wasn't any referendum in West Papua. So Indonesia is standing on this resolution 2504 saying that the UN has recognized West Papua as being officially part of Indonesia. There is no resolution under UN which says that West Papua is officially part of Indonesia. Indonesia needs to tell the world where is it? Where's the resolution? All we know in the resolution 2504, it's a resolution where it says the Dutch government, I mean the UN people who were in West Papua during the time and supervised that fake or sham referendum, putting in the report, the Indonesian putting in the report, and and they combine it together, and then it's just a resolution. Never in the resolution it says that UN officially agrees or confirms that West Papua is officially part of Indonesia. Nothing. There's nothing in the resolution where it says that UN recognized that West Papua is officially part of Indonesia. So Indonesia needs to be truthful in its doing.
Of freedom of choice with regard to that future. The Netherlands government has been and is most deeply concerned with the well-being of the Papua, well-being of the Papua.
Kita berjuang untuk Papua merdeka, bukan untuk lain.
Amen.
Lain. Kemauan atau ide-ide pertama daripada orang Papua adalah Papua harus merdeka. Dengan dasar ini, kita mesti bertahan di hutan, walaupun susah, walaupun rawan, walaupun banyak rintangan yang kita hadapi. Yang penting harus waspada.
So again, let me reiterate it again. Like with the current situation now in Europe between the Russia and the Ukraine, the invasion of Ukraine, and the world is condemning Russia about the invasion of Ukraine. Let me bring the issue of West Papua again to the international community. When Indonesia invaded West Papua, the world was so silent about it. The Americans supported Indonesia to invade West Papua. So why now America is opening its mouth and trying to condemn Russia? The U.S. government needs to take this issue very seriously. You were also involved in the issue of West Papua. You supported Indonesia to invade West Papua. So why are you going and condemning Russia when you also did the same to the people of West Papua? You wanted to go in West Papua. That's why you came up with this 1962 New York agreements, so that the transfer of the administration of West Papua to UN and later to Indonesia, so that you can use Indonesia as the police to protect you, so that you can steal the gold in West Papua. That's the whole idea. And unbelievable. We the people of West Papua, we're just watching the situation now in Ukraine, and we're just laughing and seeing this the Western government condemning Russia over the invasion of Ukraine. Well, Indonesia did invade West Papua. Americans supported Indonesia to invade West Papua, and the world was so silent about it. So, I mean, we have to be honest and truthful. We have to be, we have to look at the issue of West Papua again. There was an invasion and an annexation of West Papua by Indonesia, and who were the key players behind it? So, the Americans were there, the Dutch were there, and the British were there, and all these Western governments. They knew very well about this invasion of West Papua, and they allowed it to happen. And now we're in this, 21st century, the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, and everyone is just screaming their head off, condemning Russia about it. Well, we have an invasion that happened in West Papua, and the Americans were behind it, and they supported Indonesia to invade West Papua, and no one said anything about it. So this is serious. This is serious. So we would like again to remind the international community, especially the American government, to also, to correct this part of history where they were involved in the invasion of West Papua. They supported Indonesia to invade West Papua by proposing this 1962 New York Agreement, when West Papua was actually on the clear path to road to independence in 1962, 1961. And we're so concerned that the Americans are condemning what's happening now in Russia, the invasion of Ukraine, and we are questioning the whole idea. Is there two sets of rules for the black people and the white people? Because as far as I know, we all know, the people of West Papua know that there was an invasion that happened. Indonesia invaded West Papua, and it was supported by Americans because they wanted to go in West Papua because, as you all know, West Papua is the world's largest gold reserves, and this is where an American company is currently operating, and so why Indonesia, continue on to to hang on to West Papua is because this mining that's happening right in West Papua, and it's actually operated by an American company called Freeport. So you can see when there is a foreign interest in a country, they will make sure they will try all the best to protect it, and they will look good in the eyes of the international community, But hey, the invasion of West Papua, The Americans were involved. They were behind it. And why go in condemning the Russian government over the invasion of Ukraine? I mean, you did participate in that invasion, and I'm sorry. You cannot condemn Russia over the invasion of Ukraine. The Americans were also involved in the invasion of West Papua by supporting Indonesia. And up until now, over 500,000 people of West Papua have died. So who's going to be responsible for these deaths? I mean, we are questioning why the international media, especially, is putting all the focus and attention on the current situation in Ukraine. Hey, there is a war going right now in West Papua, and we need that similar attention to expose this injustice or this violation, serious human rights violations currently being committed by Indonesian security forces against our people. We need a similar attention from the international community. So I would like to, basically to inform the Americans that, I mean, you have the issue. You were also involved in the invasion of West Papua by supporting Indonesia. The 90s. Why did you guys came up with the 1962 New York Agreement when that wasn't the wish of the West Papuan people? We were on the clear path to independence. I mean, it was based on UN Resolution 1514, where the colonizers like the Dutch, they need to prepare its territory of West Papua for full independence. Why did you suddenly propose this 1962 New York Agreement? And also prior to the 1969 referendum, the American government and Indonesia has already signed the business contract for the American company Freeport to operate in West Papua. So basically, we would think that American government actually supported the invasion of West Papua. So I think that's the reality. That's the truth. I mean, the U.S. government cannot deny that. So what we're seeing now in Europe, especially the invasion of Ukraine by the Russian troops, the world is so putting all the focus and media attention and condemning Russia over the invasion. Hang on. There was an invasion that happened in early 60s, and that was the invasion of West Papua by Indonesia, which was supported by Americans. And the world said nothing about it. So we, the people of West Papua, would like to appeal to the American government, to President Joe Biden, and the American people that they need to fix the mess that they created in West Papua. We have over 500,000 people. Our people have lost their lives. And we need justice. We need something needs to be done about it. And we cannot allow Indonesian military to continue to murder our people. We are human. And we deserve the peace in our land. And we want to appeal again to the international community, especially UN, to urgently make the visit to West Papua, because right now the situation in West Papua is very dangerous, and the visit by UN is extremely urgent.
Mohon sampaikan isi hati penyampaian saya. Saya mau merdeka, saya mau pulang. Saya tidak mau lagi tinggal di negeri orang. saya orang Papua mau kembalikan, mau ambil kembali saya punya negeri dan tanah dan bla-bla-bla.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for watching my video. And that's basically a short video just to let you all know the current situation in West Papua and also what's happening right now in Europe, especially in Ukraine, the invasion of Ukraine by the Russians. So we also had where there was an invasion that happened in West Papua as well. Our country was invaded by Indonesia, which was supported by the Americans. And this is not fair when the Americans are condemning the Russians over the invasion of Ukraine. What about West Papua? You supported Indonesia to invade West Papua, and I mean, we have to be honest in our dealings. We cannot deny that something needs to be done. You need to correct the mistake that happened in the past, and the Papuan people deserve that freedom, deserve that right. And right now we are appealing to the American governments to to look in the past mistake that happened in the past, and also to help to reinstate the sovereignty of the West Papuan people. Right now, the visit from UN is extremely urgent because our people are in a very hard condition where there is endless human rights violations being committed against our people right now. With the ongoing military operations being carried out in West Papua, we have over 50 to 60,000 people have already been displaced. So we urgently need that visit from UN. Thank you.